All right. And we are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Daytona dirt road course. That's probably not any of that accurate. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is Open Mike Martin on the directorial duties, and the man, the myth, the Loch Ness Monster, Michael Magus.
Loch Ness Monster? I'm not Scottish.
Well, I mean, but you probably got at least 350.
I do at least have 350. Or 350.
Indeed. Oh, God, it's Scott. Why, Scott? Why are you here?
Scott is apparently racing for us. That's going to be
Ooh,
interesting.
that's always good.
Mm-hmm.
I also would like to take this early opportunity to remind Martin that he does rock an open mic. So at some point, that might be inconvenient.
That could be a
Actually,
potential
I was
problem.
muted right here.
Oh, okay. When you're typing, I can hear you type very loudly.
We
But
did.
I hadn't heard
typing,
you since
yeah.
I did my intro, so whatever you were doing was working.
There we go. We'll yell at you and make disparaging remarks if you happen to interrupt our lovely flow of commentary with your typing. Although I suppose with my loud ass keyboard, I can't actually complain about people typing.
These are true statements.
Good to know. Good to know. We got Doggy's Tube joining us. Yay! Ooh. So I'm a little bit of discomfort from a intercostal muscle injury, so I may be a little crabby about that.
Well, I mean, what I would recommend is probably building up the outer costals so that they compensate.
I could definitely see the logic of that, but that was what I was trying to do when I heard it.
Well, I find that to be shocking, fortuitous, and
somebody
also
spun around there.
That would be Victor Vega.
No, it was not Mr. Vic Vega. It was the yellow and black Porsche. I did not see who it was. But this is Vic Vega that is on our screen right now.
What about Jules?
I'm pretty sure that that's not his real name just because he's from Denmark. And I feel like Vic Vega in Denmark would not really be a thing, but it would be Royale with cheese.
I was about to make that joke. What if he's just really into the gourmet shit, okay?
He's into that gourmet burger and coffee.
Oh, we got the Igeli and we got the Hey Zulu up in this bitch.
Zulu! So Guido de Palma up front right now ahead of McCombs, Cruz Quival. That's what I'm going with. Elias, Martins, Vega. A little bit surprised. What community is Vic Vega with? Because I wasn't expecting to see any Danish drivers in this particular event because this is a Spanish and Portuguese event, if I recall correctly. I was expecting a lot of South American talent.
It is a Raceroom.
Is this the full race room? Okay, that would explain.
Well, sir, perhaps he is his last name is Vega. Sounds pretty Espanol to me.
Could be a Jay Delgado scenario. Does that mean that we get to call him Craterface, or are we not channeling our inner Chase?
Probably shouldn't do that.
Are we not? We're not. Okay, we're not going to do that.
We're not that drunk yet.
that was a level of drunk that you and I think, are not capable of affording. If we're being completely honest.
I can do it. It's just that I don't have the verbal skills at that point.
Oh. Well, then credit to Chase. He did have the verbal skills at that point.
That poor kid.
Although I have no idea where the whole crater face thing even came from, because we didn't even know what Jay Delgado looked like, so it was very weird. Anyways, Matthias F. Gonzalez. I like that livery actually, the Intel livery. It's very nice. A lot of these Porsche Cup cars actually have really good liveries. If they weren't Porsches, I'd be really, really excited to drive them. But everyone in ESR knows I hate the Porsche. I hate it with a burning passion.
Wow.
That's actually that's not even true technically. I don't actually hate the Porsche. I hate the mysticism that surrounds the Porsche. That's what I
It's
dislike.
just a really long Volkswagen. I don't understand.
Well, you get a bunch of people who are like brand new to sim racing or very new to sim racing. It's like, what car do you want to drive? Oh, you want to drive the Porsche, the hardest to drive car in the game. Ha. Just say it's not a very good starting point, is all I'm saying.
Everybody knows that the beginner car is the Koenigsegg.
No. You broke me logically for the next 5 minutes. It's just gonna be no's.
Koenigsegg.
Adrian Elias has an email for his team name. That's interesting. automobilista2@gmail.com.
Everybody sign up for support.
I wonder if he was involved in the Automobilista development process. Nicholas Cortez going fourth quickest. This is practice, though. I'm not sure that the times are going to be terribly indicative. It could be people trying out different setups, and obviously fuel levels will impact this. Who's going hard with things like low fuel qualifying setups or high fuel long runs. Sorry, I had to burp.
Do it.
I'm trying not to do it on mic.
Do it loud.
No.
Why?
Do apologize for any names we get wrong over the course of the broadcasting. We're going to do our best.
Like Sergei Skukamachuk?
But MMA has taught us some terrible pronunciations. So we may screw this up.
Nicholas the Killer Cortez.
Indeed. Raceroom Club America is his team. They are, I believe, the people primarily hosting this particular event. So that is nice. He's got one of the plainer Porsche liveries with just the black and the white there. So even that, though, still does look very stylish, almost like a Nike swoosh.
He is driving the Hublot, so you know who to watch. The Hublot is a watch manufacturer.
I am aware. I think watch manufacturers are like the second most common racing sponsor in existence, actually, with the first, of course, being oil companies. And it used to be cigarettes, of course, but anti-tobacco legislation has largely put an end to that.
It's probably for the best.
With, of course, Marlboro's long association with F1 and Gigantes and
Hey, what? Sorry?
Camel, also long-time F1 sponsors,
and
of course,
Desk Clubbers Incorporated.
And of course, that late '90s idea where the British American Tobacco Company actually bought an F1 team,
very nice,
rechristened it as British American Racing, which is BAR, which is now Mercedes, actually.
Duke Leto Gomez just kind of went for a spinny spin.
Here we have George Julian Gonzalez Pela.
Is Jorge Julian Gonzalez Peña.
Could be Jorge, could be George as well. Depends what the specific vernacular of Spanish he speaks is. Usually is what that works out.
Perhaps he is originally from Barcelona.
That is an option. Barcelona does have a lot of different ideas on how to pronounce things from the other Spanish stuff. What are you doing, Martin?
He's posting stuff.
I see.
He's calling 911.
Dial 911 and wait.
They're in the house. Oh, I'm sorry. I was calling about the Porsche, not the emergency line.
There's a whole story about about Porsche that relates to some other racing. So when Eddie Jordan came up with the Jordan F1 team back in 1981, the original Jordan car was going to be the 911 or the 911, which of course is the Porsche famous number. Eddie Jordan managed to make Porsche pay him money to not call it the 911, and also he got a free Porsche out of the deal.
Very nice.
So Eddie Jordan, master of screwing Porsche over. In an interview later on, after he long after, this was in the like 2010 or so, I think, he gave an interview. He's like, no, we never actually really. The reason we got it is we came up with the 911 chassis name, and then claimed that we couldn't possibly change it. Like there would be too much paperwork to do, too much cost to do. There wouldn't have actually been any. We just told Porsche that, and that's how we got the financial compensation.
I like it.
Which is why Jordan F1 was and still is my favorite F1 team.
You're saying Eddie Jordan is the Michael Jordan of stuff?
Not of team owners, that's for sure, because it's not like Jordan ever won any championships. Although, I will say this, Jordan did punch well above its weight. I mean, almost winning the 1999 F1 championship for a privateer team, 4 Grand Prix wins in their history, pretty repetitive podium finishers. For a team that existed for 13 years or so, 14 years, they did pretty damn well. And to this day, actually, they still punch above their weight because, of course, the Jordan team is now actually the Aston Martin team in F1. It's always interesting to follow the legacies, the history of the teams, and people buying them up and so on, and then tracing them back to their original ones. Because realistically speaking, the dominant team in F1 right now is actually the successor to the Tyrrell team, which won championships in the 1960s and 70s with Jackie Stewart.
But which one of those teams had the Koenigsegg?
Koenigsegg has never gotten involved in F1. I don't know whether I should be surprised with that.
We have multilingual support here in chat from Leandro Caro.
Leandro Caro! Well, more Leandro. Leandro, very fast driver. Scott Nick! 9th place. Again, don't know how much these times mean right now. No idea what people are running in terms of fuel loads, whether these are the final setups, maybe they're still making decisions that will impact the overall pace here long term. But nice to see Scott running in 9th place. I am noting, sir, is Guido De Palma with us for this series, Martin, or is he representing a different community?
He's part of ESR.
All right, so we have Guido De Palma. I'm assuming Serge Hendricks is also repping us, and Scott Nick.
Yep.
All right. Those are the only 3 I see so far. Everybody else is foreign.
Ariel Zatoni.
Oh, Zatoni.
And Byron will be happy with that. What we have.
Who do we have? You broke up there on the last one.
Pedro Magalhães.
Pedro Magalhães.
And Simeon Ku is going to make it slightly late.
He's always late.
In the reserve, we have Big Richard, or Richard DeRouche, and Mr. Conce Daniel, or Daniel Conce.
Interesting. So we got a couple of new faces to ESR, because, of course, Pedro and Daniel are both very new. I think they've done like 1 race with us apiece. So interesting to see getting the new guys and some of the veteran content together in the same team.
Yeah, I like our odds.
Right now up front is our boy Guido De Palma. He's up there by over a second. Now, again, could be interesting what he's doing. We picked the boring livery. We went with that. Oh, my heart breaks. Oh.
Sir, it's a classic and clean look.
It is. It is very classic. It is. I will firmly give it that. That's a very.
It does
classic,
look like a fine pack of Camel cigarettes.
It really does. It really doesn't.
ESR's
I have no idea.
Colors as well.
Marlboro, probably Marlboro.
No, Marlboro's predominantly red. That's
Marlboro
more like
Lights.
It's more like an Imperial Tobacco cigarette package, to be honest.
Maggle, what bar is Scott Nick?
What bar? That is a white chocolate Kit Kat bar.
Well done. Not some Wrigley's Spearmint.
Wouldn't spearmint have some kind of green on it?
I can't remember. There was one gum that was literally that, like, that package was that color, and then the other brand with the same flavor was green. I can't remember who was who.
Maybe spearmint then. Spearmint usually has some kind of green on it though.
Yeah, you'd think
for coloring. No, Marlboro would be like predominantly red, and Camel would be predominantly yellow. Actually. How do I know the cigarette brands? Welcome to being a race fan in the 1990s, man, because that's where all the sponsorship came from.
From Grande Tobacco.
Well, I mean, it was very legitimate because, I mean, back in the mid 90s, you had Ferrari sponsored by a tobacco company, McLaren sponsored by a tobacco company, Williams sponsored by a tobacco company, Benetton sponsored by a tobacco company. Jordan, Prost, Sauber was the only one that I think actually never really had any tobacco roots. They were in bed with Patronus and Red Bull, so oil and energy drinks.
Well, I mean, what about the spice? Since we have Duke Leto right here on the screen.
Leto Gomez Martinez. He is a man who knows how to walk without rhythm.
As long as he doesn't dance without rhythm.
That's true. I dance without rhythm. That's for fucking sure.
We'd like to thank Leandro Carroll for being the biggest cheerleader in the world.
Indeed. Very appreciated.
Well done, sir.
Alexandre Martins, currently in 12th place there. Portuguese driver. I do like the livery behind him. I don't know who that is. That's very nice. I'm always a fan of green cars. You know this. Classic Castrol Racing livery there for Martins.
Excellent. We have Airwolf on the case, trying to find us some cars. We just have the Airwolf theme.
Chopper cam.
Hell yeah, all chopper cam all day. Can we just get the Airwolf theme playing softly in the background throughout the entire race?
I feel like there might be some kind of copyright problem there, but it'd be worth a shot.
Whatever.
Scott Nick still hanging around in the top 10. That's good to see. As he comes on screen, I swear that wasn't actually intentional. So we're here at Daytona. I should probably pull up a track map for Daytona, shouldn't I?
It's all left corners. Except for that one.
Yeah. Broken with the
I have no idea what you're trying to communicate. Martin, you keep breaking up.
Okay, so I think I have ourselves a track map here, although, to be honest, not a lot of turn names to speak of. It's all just like turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 sort of thing.
Left number 1, left number 2, left number 3, left number 4. That's all there is.
Well, number 1 is actually number 1 and number 2 are both actually left-handers. So there you go. You are slightly correct.
Well, I mean, this is just NASCAR with extra steps, isn't it? So it's all left corners.
I mean, it's not all left corners, but you're not entirely incorrect because, of course, this track is the Daytona Oval with an infield section. So there is definitely, well, I mean, you can see it here. There's a lot of banking corners and things that you would associate with NASCAR and IndyCar more so than with sports car racing. But this is, of course, home to the 24 Hours of Daytona, one of the biggest endurance events in the world. I believe it's still part of the Triple Crown of endurance racing, along with the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the 24 Hours of Spa.
More cheering in the chat for Guido De Palma from LXS Mono. Shout out to his cousin LXS Stereo.
Indeed, there is the Daytona road course. No wind. That's not very logical. I do like that there's a difference between air temperature and track temperature. After racing in Assetto Corsa Competizione last night and having a huge rant about how the track temperature is all wrong, it's nice to see Raceroom getting a leg up there with actually realistic track temps. Although I would say everything's a little bit cold, just like 20 and 28 for Florida. It's a bit chilly, isn't it?
No, sir, this is in Ohio.
This is not in Ohio, sir.
It's the University of Florida, of Miami, of Tampa, in Ohio.
In Ohio. Oh, the University of Miami. Jesus.
In Ohio.
In Ohio.
Let's do a flying lap with Serge.
Okay. Pick up on board here with Serge Hendricks. He's heading through turn 1 now. This kind of section here, kind of collectively turn 1. That little bit there doesn't count as a turn apparently according to the track map I have, but oh well. Turn 2 here, which is this the no, this is not the this is the International Horseshoe. Okay. That is the International Horseshoe there. And we're coming up to turn 4 here, which is a fast flowing turn. There it is. Slight lift, no brake. Into turn 5. And then into the sort of the back section of the track here through turn 6 and 7, which will hit the embankment again. So we're right here. We're back on the oval. This is prolongedly turn 8 and 9 here on the oval section here. Full throttle, of course. You want to carry absolutely all your speed through here. Exceeding 250 kilometers, 260 kilometers an hour. Towards the bus stop turn here, which is turn 10 and turn 11. Slowing way down. That's going to be the last major braking of the lap. And then into turn 12 and 13, which is the oval again. Once again, just going to be full throttle here. Serge is might be able to improve on his lap time here, but he needs a really good third sector. And then heading towards the start finish straight here. You can see the very difficult pit lane there. And another lap done for Serge Hendricks, still in 9th place. So it looks like we got 15 cars so far. Nice to see if there would be more. But could be some late arrivals. Still 17 minutes left in practice, so we have plenty of time.
There is 20 on the track right now.
Okay, so we just have a couple that have not posted a lap time. Okay.
That's right.
I know one person who's not going to make it to practice.
Oh, Tyler Agelli is digging in on the Martin tire management or lack thereof.
Oh, snap.
Let me tell you something you may not know about Martin Edmonds. He is an absolute tire torturer.
I thought you were going to say he smokes rocks.
I mean, his tires do. He would have been right at home on track the other night in the wet at Brands Hatch, where tire management was virtually impossible. Everyone's tires were screaming and overheating through the practice session because the track was too warm for wet tires, but it was wet. It was very problematic.
You say problematic, I say opportunistic.
There's Andre Martin still in 14th place there in the Castrol car. He's heading through the bus stop. He's got himself 2 personal bests there in the first sector, so if he can put a decent third sector together here, he might be improving his time. He's only 1.8 down right now. could be a noticeable increase here. This could be a top 10 lap, actually. Depends, however, if he can get a decent run through here. And 148. Okay, didn't move into the top 10. Lost about 0.3 in the third sector, but still up to 12th briefly. Although quickly dropped by, I think, Barthez overtaking him. Ooh, I like that car. Edgar Cruz, yet to post a lap time.
This car brought to you by Pepsi Max.
I don't know. Does Pepsi Max have a blue color to it? I don't know.
I think it's mainly black with some blue on it.
Okay. I really don't know pop colors because I don't drink the stuff.
I see it around. It exists.
Yeah, I mean I see it around, but I never really think about it, to be honest. I have a not an allergy per se, because it's not an allergic reaction, but it's similar to an allergic reaction to caffeine. So I stay away from the stuff. Guillermo Cruz Quival, currently with a personal best in Sector 1. About 0.6 off pole. Well, not pole, but top practice spot. Coming around here. It feels like this Sector 2 has not gone very well for him. It just seems like a high time. Yeah, he lost about 1.2 seconds. So not a good run there through the second sector for him. We'll see if he can redeem himself in the third.
Worth noting that race 1 is 9 laps and race 2 is 18 laps.
Okay, so we're going with the sprint race, feature race format. If you hear me groan, it's because of an injury to my intercostal muscles. So, which is a fun way of saying I hurt myself doing a stomach crunch.
Is it true that you're totally lying and it's just because you sprained your left kneecap?
It's not anywhere near my kneecap today. Today was upper body and abs, so the legs are fine. Check out my abs, Andy.
Check them down.
My goal's to lose some weight and get down to about 220 pounds. And so far, progress has been there, although got a ways to go. Hey, Edgar Cruz, you're American. You should join up with ESR.
Wow, trying to poach racers.
Would make well, no. We don't poach. You can race in multiple communities. Just saying. It would fit his time zone. Sergei Yakubchuk. That's a fun name to say, so we might say a lot of it. Currently in 5th place. Doing quite well.
Skookumchuk.
So everyone's still getting the finalization of their setups. Although with a 9-lap race, not gonna have a lot of variables to think of. Even the 18-lap race is gonna be relatively easy on the tires, unless we have some elevated form of tire wear on, which we could. I don't fully know. Pedro Maglesh in 7th place. He's got 2 personal bests in the first and second sector. So with a good third sector here, I think he could be looking at a top 5 time. We're very close to it.
Go Pedro. Go Pedro. Not Octavio.
Indeed. The greatest grappler in race room history. Pedro Maglesh. Here we are. 6th place. Good third sector. Oh, we got a purple first sector from Joaquin Juan Urena. We've not seen Joaquin in a while. So good to see him again. Last time I commentated on his race, he dominated. So we'll see if he can do that again.
Yeah, he rejoined the ESR Discord recently, and I was wondering, like, I think I've seen this name before. I did a search, and he rejoined the ESR channel 4 times in less than a year, and he left again. So, oh well.
right, well, he is sporting the Logitech car. Wasn't able to keep the purple pace up in Sector 2, but he's only 0.1 off of top spot right now. I think we could see a top 2 time here from him. And right now, the Argentinians are doing quite well with the top 4 spots. Let's see what he can do here in the third sector as he approaches the bus stop. Or pardon me, that was his lap. Never mind, I was actually a little bit behind. And yep, second place indeed within a half second of the best lap of the day.
A shout out to the Esport Racing Argentina from Tomas Ignacio here in chat. And I support it.
Got a good rate lap here going from Pedro Maglesh again. He's got personal bests in the first and second sector, about 0.4 off. Looks like he definitely has a shot at a top 5 here, but it depends on how this third sector goes, obviously. We'll see what he can do here as he is approaching the start-finish line. And he is indeed moving into 4th place, 0.6 off of the top spot. Luciano. We very familiar with Luciano Machado.
See. We think perhaps you shouldn't look into his heritage past 1947, but other than that, he's a good guy.
All right. Well, he is about. Looks like he's on a warm-up lap actually, because we're not getting any times here. So nothing to really commentate on in that regard. He's just kind of bringing the tires up to temperature, and we go over to Sergei Yakubchuk, who has fallen out of the top 5 into 6th place, and does not have a particularly promising lap going here, as he's over a second off as of the second sector.
It was Yakubchuk from Yakima, Washington.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Argentinian flags. I don't think I've ever seen this many Argentinian flags before. It's like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 of the 18 drivers that have posted lap times, all from one country, and it's Argentina. That's a little bit, it's a slightly strange moment.
Simeon
Also
joined, so we have 21 right now on the track.
Representatives from Brazil, America, Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, and Denmark as well.
That's
Simeon
just enlarged Switzerland.
Simeon has the flag of Republic country of Moldova.
That is where he is from.
But he's in Canada.
Yes, but he's racing under the flag of his homeland.
What you didn't know is we actually sold the cultural rights of Quebec to Moldova. So technically everybody in Quebec is now technically formerly of Moldova.
Interesting.
We are from USSR.
Actually, my dad's family was from USSR.
Me and Byron both have the communist blood.
Yeah. Although my family got the hell out of there when they realized what the hell was going on.
Probably a good call. Probably a good call.
Well, considering I met you in person, I can see the resemblance with Zangief from Street Fighter.
I wish my hair was that thick and luxurious, though.
It was at one time.
It was at one time.
I remember the long locks of Byron Giant.
I would grow them again if it wasn't for the Hoganing of my upper forehead.
Byron, come on, make Byron Hogan a thing.
No. Then I have to yell things about black people that are inappropriate.
No. Hogan of the 90s, not Hogan of the 2000s.
Oh, well then I gotta pray a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. Or then I guess I could just stifle everybody's careers.
Technically, you don't have to pray. You just have to tell people to pray.
That's true. I could be the insert evangelist here. I could be the Creflo $8 of pretend wrestling.
That's true. It's kind of weird to think that the most Christian religious wrestler of the 80s is actually Ted DiBiase. It's just very weird.
Well, Christian now.
I mean, even then, apparently, he was very, very Christian. Actually.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought that was a recent conversion type thing.
He's actually one of the wrestlers who's probably the furthest from his persona in person, which is interesting.
Well, him and the Undertaker.
I don't know, man. The Undertaker's pretty damn close to his.
But he's clearly alive.
Like, he is alive. But I mean, aside from that, like, he's every story backstage about the Undertaker tends to lead that he's really not that far off the Undertaker outside of having a pulse. There was a whole story about how a couple of the wrestlers backstage called Brody Lee the next Undertaker. And they'd be like, "Mr. Taker, please have a seat." And he's like, "You're getting me heat, guys." It's mostly apparently Xavier Woods, because Xavier Woods credits Brody Lee with having saved his life during a Royal Rumble match where Braun Strowman messed up a spot, which is not meant to be anti-Strowman. I'm just telling the story.
People make mistakes.
Yeah. And he missed his cue, and Brody had to, like, instead of dropping Xavier Woods, he had to hold him up in a vertical suplex position for like 3 minutes.
Whoa.
And then Strowman finally came over and kicked them out to eliminate them. And Xavier Woods is like, "If it was not for that man, I would probably be dead." It's actually even better because, like, when they get kicked out of the ring, Brody actually maintains the vertical suplex position as he's falling out of the ring, lands on his feet so that he can gently drop Xavier to the ground. It's actually really impressive. I was watching it on YouTube.
Royal Rumble's this weekend, isn't it?
Somewhere around here. I don't really follow WWE anymore for reasons of quality.
Correct. But I always like the Rumble.
I do always like the Rumble.
I want to see the surprise. There's always at least 2 surprises.
Well, the thing is they have taken to actually ruining the surprise. Like, they've already announced that Edge is going to be in it and stuff, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, but he's back to being an active wrestler.
Well, no, but he got injured again and was out, and then he came back on Raw this week or last week and was like, "I'm going in the Rumble," and it's like, guys,
don't worry, they'll have Chavo back.
Wow, hey, man, Chavo being back would be pretty cool. Ooh, Chavo. No, not Brody Steen, Tyler Gelly. Brody Lee. Although, shout out to Brody Steen. Shout out to Brody Steen, the illegitimate offspring of Brody Lee and Kevin Steen.
So it's worth noting that there will be a formation lap with a pace car ahead of everyone.
I have not actually experienced that in Raceroom, so that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, so they have one person sitting aside with a different car. I believe it's the BMW 235i, and
cool.
it will lead people around. The leader, once the BMW is gone, the leader decides the pace or when to go. It's supposed to be 2 wide. We'll see how that goes.
2 wide's pretty easy to do at Daytona, so hopefully they can pull it off clean. Serge Hendricks with a personal best in Sector 2. Not likely. Oh, he did improve. Okay, 8th place. Good third sector as well.
I'm still trying to figure out why are these guys really old that they need the pacemaker?
The pace car keeps people from doing stupid things at the start of the race.
Yeah, right. I've heard tales of a certain someone messing up pace laps.
Oh, well, that's Matt Hicks. He's not here. Field is fairly spread out, I must say. I was expecting a little bit tighter, but I mean, that could be a case of people not doing qualifying pace versus race pace. So we'll see. We'll have to see in qualifying if the pace tightens up. Hopefully it does. I'd like to see a little bit tighter things right now. Does look like there's not a lot of gap between necessarily like position to position. The biggest gap there being 1 second between Edgar Cruz and I'm sorry, Mr. Elias. I have forgotten your first name.
So who wants to walk with?
Whoa. That's Elias the first name. This is Elias the last name. Or to go with the NHL option, Eliash.
Correct.
Patrick Eliash actually was named to the all New Jersey Devils all-time team as the left winger for the team. So there you go.
All time in holdouts.
I mean, this was an all-time team that has Marty Brodeur in goal, Scott Stevens and Scott Niedermeyers as defensemen. So I mean, you know, you ain't scoring.
Nope.
All right, here we go into qualifying, and the first man out on the track is ESR. Oh, no, never mind. One of the Castro cars is out first.
The first one to get a speeding in the pit lane penalty is ESR.
So here we go. A couple guys going out. Hopefully they get some good spread and don't get into each other's way. Joaquin Juan Urena, second in qualify or practice, heading out on track. So he's definitely a candidate for pole position, you'd have to think.
Leandro wants vodka currently.
Not vodka. I am drinking a mix of whiskey and water.
Just whiskey for me, thanks.
Well, I mean, it's straight whiskey and then water if I just actually need, like, you know, to wet my beak. Guido de Palma, the fastest man in practice, heading out on track. So we got 19 minutes remaining in qualifying here, so plenty of time. We'll see how the grid takes shape.
If you want to see a live, no.
You can put us on board with somebody if you want. We did that one in practice, but we can definitely do it again. There's Joaquin. There's Ariel. I think Ariel's getting towards the end of the lap here. I believe this is the backstretch. Approaching the bus stop. Yes, it is. It's nice and slowed down. Braking a little bit earlier than I think he probably should for the bus stop, but I don't know. I have not driven this car here, so it could be that this car has a different rhythm around Daytona than the cars I have driven around here. But I want to say the only car I've actually even driven around here is the BMW GT4, because every race I've had here has been in the GT4. Oh, he's abandoning his lap. Or, nope, that was the lag thing. Here we go. Ariel Zatoni heading in here into turn one. Or I'm going to call it the turn one complex, because it's a couple of turns that they term as turn one here. It's here and then into this right-hander and then the left-hander. That's apparently all turn one, interestingly enough. Into the International Horseshoe, one of only two named turns on this track, I think. Everything else is just, T1, T2, T3. Into the middle section here. This is the infield section, similar to what F1 used to do with the Indianapolis Grand Prix. So you get slowed down. I'm not going to really pay too much attention to that purple sector because we don't have any times on the board yet. A little bit early to get excited about that. We'll see what happens in the long run. I believe the fastest time in practice was a 1:45. Do not quote me on that. It was in the 140s for sure, but I don't remember the exact figure. And we'll see what they can do here in qualifying as Zatoni heads towards the bus stop chicane. Breaking it about 150 meters. The corner there.
150 meters per nanosecond.
Did feel a little bit sloppy through the bus stop there, so I'm not sure if this is Ariel's best lap. But we'll see. Still don't have a time up yet, although there's a car ahead of him there, so presumably that car will put up a time before Ariel does. Into the final stretch here, through the pit straight. And into turn one, Martins takes pole. And into pole position goes Ariel Zatoni, 147. So I'm kind of doubting that 145's happened in practice now. Feels like maybe 147 was the answer. A couple other times coming through there with Mr. Bacombs. Sorry, we haven't picked up your first name yet. Here is Guido de Palma. He was the fastest in practice. He's got himself a purple second sector and was up less than a tenth and does go to pole, although very, very close. I do notice that we get different. We do get different gaps from the overlay there. That's giving us the track and the actual results page up top, which does make sense. I remember the overlay does have some differences in timing data, but we'll do our best to keep it 100 there. Sergei Yamachuk had a purple first sector, but did not follow it up with a particularly good second sector, and is in a little bit of traffic now. We'll see if he can negotiate and still put up a good time here. Meantime, Cortez has gone third fastest.
He's looking to conquer the known track.
Indeed. JXX. That's a hell of a name. All right, Guido de Palma still at the front of the pack. Really shouldn't say still. I mean, he took pole less than 90 seconds ago, so probably not that old news. But he's heading through the bus stop chicane into the final section of the track. He is 3/10 up as of the second sector, so I think we're going to see a new fastest lap here. Probably, I feel like he might get into the 146s.
I mean, if it takes him an hour and 46 minutes to get around the track, we might be in trouble.
That is very true. I don't think there's a lap in the world that's an hour 46 long. I think most rally stages are shorter than that. Guido de Palma did get into the 46s there, reassuring his pole position. Edgar Cruz has a pair of PBs and is actually within a second, so he could drop considerably because his lap up there right now is 2.1 off. I feel like this will be a fair bit better unless he botches the third sector. Into the home stretch now and across the line. Indeed, fifth quickest. Almost a full second of improvement. Scott Nick currently in 11th place. He's got a pair of PBs on the board, but he is running into traffic. This might create some problems, but he does go fifth quickest. Go Scott Nick.
Third worst rapper on the track, third coolest.
Ariel Zatoni in second place. ESR doing quite well with the top three right now. See what happens. Scott Nick also in the mix. Ariel Zatoni coming towards the end. He's got a pair of PBs on the board, but I don't think it's enough. Oh, it is! Never mind. It is enough to take pole position.
Congratulations. Next up to the pole is Ariel.
See if
Make sure to have your singles up.
See if Adrian Elias can do anything, and the answer is no.
Well, Ayrton Tobin's being a little salty in chat. Something about eating a plaid persimmon or a green potato or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's complaining about being bumped by Scott Nick at some point.
I totally misread that.
Which is very, very rude. I mean, Ayrton, you bumped me many times, and I haven't stopped cheering for you.
I did. Because he's really short. I can't support that.
I mean, he might be. I feel like Ayrton Tobin should have been hired to do the voice of Ayrton Senna on the McLaren 50 cartoon that I know is old news, but I actually just found it a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty funny. They actually had it was basically a little documentary with all the McLaren F1 champions. The ones who were alive actually came and lent their voices to it, which was very funny. Including Mika Hakkinen, who apparently was an absolute riot to work with for the animators when they were doing his voice, which is pretty cool. because they were actually really worried. They were giving him basically like a Superman storyline where he was like a superhuman sent from an alien planet. And they're like, we're gonna give him a cape and we're gonna put the underwear on the outside and everything. And they're like, is he gonna like find this offensive? And Mika Hakkinen is like, no, more ridiculous.
Mika Hakkinen and his Thai cousin hacking up along.
Joaquin Juan Urena's got a pair of session best sections. Could be going for pole here as he comes around towards the finish line. He's up 4/10. It's hard to see him messing this up, but let's have a look. And he does. He lost 0.6 in that, or at least 5 to 0.6 in that third sector. Interesting. Coming in third place. Once again, the Argentinians congregating at the top of the timing sheets in the top 4 positions. Luciano Ichazo heading out on track. This pit lane is going to be interesting because it's very easy to cut that pit lane. And if you do, you're going to get a penalty.
Nice. Everybody's going to get disqualified.
Ariel Zatoni's got himself a purple first sector. So it looks like Ariel's key to success, though, is the third sector, if that lap time we saw from Juan Urena is anything to go on. Because Juan Urena looked like he had the measure of him through sectors 1 and 2. It was really sector 3 where Ariel came back. So let's see what Ariel can do here. Which is a bit weird, because I did think that Ariel looked a little sloppy through the bus stop, but he must be doing a good job through there to generate such a good third sector time. Not a great second sector. Finds himself about 0.3 off his own time. We'll see if he can make that up in the third sector.
I think they should add 9 more sectors.
12 sectors on the track? That would be intriguing.
1 sector every 30 feet. Very accurate. We need most accurate of all timings.
Oh, that was a bad third sector from Ariel. Okay, that was a mail-in. That was a mail-in.
But imagine if you had like 19 more sectors. Just make it up.
Roman Barthes, or Barths, not sure which. Currently running in 16th place and does not improve. Although he improves his lap time, but not his position in that lap there. Over to Leito Gomez Martinez, who has got a PB in Sector 2 and is actually up 1/10 of a second. Threat to pole position here, currently in 4th place. See what he can do here through the third sector. I've kind of hypothesized that Ariel Zatoni's the king of the third sector. We'll see if Martinez can respond.
Once I was the king of Spain. And there's more to that song, too.
There is. And no improvement from Martinez. Unable to get it done in the third sector, actually. Full second lost in time. Wow. Serge Hendricks got a pair of PBs on the board, but I don't know if this is going to be much better. Well, no, maybe. He's 1.7 off. I thought it said 1.2 for a second, or 1.1. And that will indeed go up to 10th place with about 1/10 of a second improvement. And
Simply
Martin,
put, we need to go faster.
It's not that you can't stop the Maglesh. It's you can't walk away from a guy like Vinny Maglesh.
Correct. It's the rock you can't stop. They made a whole song about it.
Mm-hmm. Joaquin Juan Urena again with a fastest first sector, but something happened terrible in that third sector. He's over 3 seconds off right now, so I don't think a threat right now. But there is still time. 6.5 minutes to go here. Have not seen Cini and Naku appear on the time charts yet, as Roman Barthez moves back into 16th place.
Perhaps Simeon is monkeying around.
Here's Scott Nick. He's got a PB in the first sector. Pretty solid. 0.3 off only. Luciano Ichazo up in 7th place. Bad second sector, though, for Scott Nick. Lost 0.8 of a second and is 1.1 currently off pole. Might be able to better his lap time here, but it is going to take a really good third sector to pull it off. And he did not manage it.
Unmanageable.
I'll say Yakimchuk is really seemingly struggling. He's down in 14th place. He was a top 10 guy in practice, so a bit weird to see him down there.
Yakimchuk, not so Skookumchuk.
It doesn't look like he's translating it terribly well, as we got another purple first sector from Luciano Ichazo. See what he can do in the second and third sector here. Should be approaching the end of the second sector, I think. See if I can get a track map that actually has sector maps on it.
He lost control slightly.
I would prefer if they lose control dramatically. So much funny.
It is a little bit. Does not seem like there's a road course map with sectors that is terribly available to me, which is a little disappointing.
I heard in the next patch, Raceroom's adding 72 sectors per turn.
Oh boy. That would really, I think, make things just meaningless.
All the sectors. If your lap isn't all purple, fuck you.
Well, there is Sergei Yakimchuk. He's got a good second sector there. So let's see if he can convert this into a better lap time. Actually, he's up to 9th. So he's actually doing a fair bit better than we last checked it with him. So that's good.
Sergey.
Cannot read this man's full name.
Damn.
Amorfati Mementomore El Capitan.
Memento Mori is a Latin phrase, so he's basically just plugged in a bunch of words.
Yeah, not nice. It's kind of like that. We had a guy in the Sunday races recently whose name was so long it went off the nameplate.
I'm gonna call this guy
do that.
Fat Mento.
Fat Mento. I'm not going to object because it's not his name. Therefore, I feel no need to defend him.
Correct. You are now Fat Mento. Enjoy it.
Fat Mentos. Currently 21st place. He's very off the pace, actually, so hopefully he can get more than that, because right now he's about 4 seconds off the next slowest guy.
He's probably weighed down by all those friggin' characters in his nameplate.
Could be.
Perhaps he'd be a little bit more aerodynamic if it wasn't for that wide-ass nameplate, sir.
We here at ESR do not support fat shaming, but fat name shaming we do.
You kids and your wide plates.
Juan Urena has taken pole while we have not been paying attention to the top of the chart, so he's up
Who's
front
Anus?
ahead of. I said Juan Urena, not Anus.
Oh, sorry. been watching this space show, and I'm thinking about planets.
Ceres, Pallas, Eros.
Never heard of
Byron, let me ask you a serious question. Are you that guy?
Could be. Fornicate around and find out.
I think you're going to enjoy the next episode of that show, actually. It's pretty good.
I mean, I enjoyed the previous episode. If anybody isn't out there listening right now or listening in the future or in chat, and we would wholeheartedly recommend watching, I can use words in order this time, a little show called The Expanse.
All right, so it looks like we got a pole position for Joaquin Juan Urena, Ariel Zatoni, Guido de Palma, the Argentinian Mafia locking out the top three. Pedro Magalhaes in fourth place ahead of Leito Gomez Martinez, Sergey Yakimchuk, Jorge, Julian Gonzalez Pela, Nicholas Cortez, Luciano Chazo, Serge Hendricks, your top five, Scott Nick, Edgar Cruz, Mateus F. Gonzalez. It's Brad McCombs. And a number of other people there winding up the 21-car grid.
Big old hello to Alejandro Murcia in chat.
Indeed, welcome Alejandro as we head into the warm-up phase where everyone gets to get a feel for the car once again under heavy fuel. Not super heavy fuel, mind you, because it's a 9-lap race here, so we're not looking at a particularly long one. I would say a general qualifying run is about 3 to 5 laps, so probably not a tremendous difference in car feel. A little extra fuel, though, maybe a little bit higher traction control.
There's a lady at the place that I work currently, and her name is Alejandra. So it's fun to sound out her name as I'm typing it, because I have to go Alejandra and make sure that I haven't screwed it up. And then double check.
I mean, you should always double check regardless of who you're sending an email to.
Oh, yeah. I have this weird inability to capitalize letters at times, so I look up and I have not capitalized somebody's first initial. I was like, let's go back and fix that.
Otherwise, you end up doing what Vince Russo did.
What's that? Signing a bunch of people for billions of dollars?
No, have you not heard the Vince Russo, Mike Johnson story?
Maybe. Can't remember off the top of my head.
So Vince Russo is sending show notes to Mike Tenay, Impact announcer, and sent it to Mike Johnson, a PWE insider, instead.
Ooh, what a tard.
Indeed. And that was during the phase where Spike TV had Impact on their show and specifically had a criteria that you cannot use Vince Russo. So that email is actually what blew the lid off of that whole, that Russo was working for TNA when TNA was saying he wasn't.
What a jackass. As if I needed further confirmation.
Always double check who your email was sent to.
No, we have the official Esport Racing Argentina in chat. Greetings, senores y senoras. They're cheering for Joaquin, I believe. It's too bad that he's not going to win because he is not nearly tall enough.
Well, he is starting on pole. So
I mean, that'll work. That'll definitely help, yeah.
I mean, unless he pulls a Joaquin Buckley.
Hey-oh. Hot start, and then...
I mean, admittedly, Buckley's start in the UFC actually was not that hot. He got beat by Kevin Holland.
Oh, there you go.
It was a hilarious fight, and if you've not seen it, enjoy fighting, go check that out, because Kevin Holland is like literally coaching him in the middle of the fight. It's hilarious because it's no crowd event, so you can hear Kevin Holland's trash talk. He's like, "That's a good one. That's a good lead hook. No, but you got to dig it more to the body." And like even right before the knockout that ends the fight, Buckley hit him with like a nice 2-piece combo, and Holland's like, "Yeah, that's how you do it," and then knocked him out.
We have Version Originale and Pedro Enrique up in the chat. Greetings, gentlemen and or ladies. We here at ESR Racing do not discriminate. We just make fun of you because it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, your gender and race and so on are not part of our humor.
No, it doesn't.
We just gotta find it.
Yeah.
We discriminate equally.
Correct. We discriminate until we find out who can't take the heat. And then go find some people who can.
Oh, a little bit out of control there from Mr. Momentumore.
You meet Fat Mento himself?
Fat Mento. Bit weird that Martins is the only one that's actually gotten a lap up during this warm-up session.
Valentino Rossi.
Valentino Rossi.
It's your boy.
We made fun of your name infinitely on the DTM stream because Valentino Rossi is a punk.
I was more thinking about Rossi from Criminal Minds.
David Rossi. Great character.
Oh, Edmonds, you're double dipping in chat. I applaud your effort. Well done.
Mm-hmm. All right. The grid is forming up here for the warm-up lap. And then it will be up to the race leader to control the opening of this 9-lap sprint race. Well, I guess this would be the qualifying race, technically. Do we know if there's a reverse grid for race 2 there, Martin? Or anything going on there?
More importantly, is there a disqualifying race?
Very good question. I'm not even sure.
Well, we'll have to find out. If there's no reverse grid, then it's technically a qualifying race, to use racing nomenclature.
No, it's reverse grid top 10. My apology.
Okay. So it's a race 1, race 2 idea here with the kind of the inverse of what Formula 2 does, which is intriguing.
Tyler's noted that a lot of repeat liveries. I believe that's because that's to designate which team they're on.
Indeed. Each community has a livery.
See, I can learn stuff. Just like Fat Mento here learned how to spell, apparently.
Oh,
hello.
No! The grid is not really getting what? I feel like Fat Mento might be in for some disciplinary action here.
This may be an accurate statement.
Okay, he's going around to the... He is going slow. Oh, he's going to pull off the track. Interesting. I don't think
Coach
he
benched
can...
him.
I don't think he can rejoin after that. Maybe he had a technical issue.
Benched. Get out. Here we go.
There is
our
the
producer
pace car.
to stop fucking around and chat.
Yeah, you're on Memento Mori there, who's in the pits. If you can get us on to the
Mr.
actual
Producer,
track,
sir?
good. Mr. Producer. We'd appreciate. There we go.
Martin's too busy being on 2 different YouTube accounts at the same time, double dipping in chat.
So our pace car driver is Francisco Rodriguez Vaquero.
Is he really a vaquero?
He is the Burt Mylander of this particular race. For those who do not know, Burt Mylander is the guy who drives the pace car in Formula 1. Actually, a very accomplished race car driver in his own right, although most famous for being the pace car driver.
I believe it is pronounced Formula 1.
It'd be interesting to have an interview with Burt Mylander at some point where someone just asks him, how do you feel like people just don't even know you were a race car driver and just know that you were the pace car driver in F1? Like, how does that feel?
Well, maybe it was just a typo. They hit the P instead of the R. Depends on what's on the ticket when he shows up on the weekend. Pace or race?
Did not race in F1 as far as I can recall. He raced in DTM. I think that was the highlight of his career. Now, the interesting question I have is Mr. Francisco Rodriguez Vaquero here. Did he volunteer for pace car duty, or did he draw the short straw?
I agree with that statement. And everybody does a brake stand.
All right, so eventually Mr. Vaquero will pull off the track towards the pit lane, and then it will be up to Joaquin Juan Urena to lead us away. Ariel Zatoni, Guido de Palma, Pedro Magalhães, Leito Gomez Martinez, Sergey Yakubchuk, Jorge Julian Gonzalez Pela, Nicholas Cortez, Luciano Chazo, Serge Hendricks, Scott Nick, Edgar Cruz, Brad McCombs. And from that point onwards, I'm not entirely sure of people's first names, unfortunately.
I know all named Theodore.
I know it's Vic Vega. And
Amor Fati was able to rejoin. Is showing as 18th place right now.
Well, we'll see if he actually takes part or if that's a timing glitch, though, because
we'll see.
We will find out.
I will move to auto director shortly.
Looks like Mr. Martins is way off the back of the pack, so he might be in the pit lane, as it is showing him 1 minute behind. Yes, Alexandro Martins appears to have had his race come to an end.
Wife aggro?
Could be wife aggro, kid aggro, internet
Cat
aggro.
shoot through all the cords.
I gotta say the Castrol team does not look super promising. A bunch of them are clustered at the rear of the grid, so they looks like they have not necessarily put their best foot forward. I have to say that that's Vaquero. I was gonna say the pole sitter looks like he's got in front ways ahead. No, that's the space car. Everyone's pretty tight as they head through the bus stop. So the pit entrance is coming up, and that we will see Vaquero pull into the pit lane, and then things will go into the racer's control.
I like that riff. Dun, 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 dun.
That's the sound of the non-existent first gear in the BMW. Actually, he's in second gear.
Somebody get the guitar out. Get that down on paper. Dun, 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 dun,
Gonna be the next hit from Metallica at that point. That's right.
Could be.
Big gap at the back there. I wonder if that's where Martins is supposed to be. All right, there is the pit entrance there. So Vaquero will be coming in. Yeah, there he is. Down the pit lane goes the pace car, and we will be green momentarily here with Joaquin Juan Urena, the pole sitter, leading from a hungry group of ESR racers led by Guido de Palma.
Gentlemen, start your beverages.
And I'm not entirely sure if we're green. We should be green, but the clock there is kind of throwing me off. But anyways, I think we are green.
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Juan Urena leads the way from Zatoni and De Palma. Bit of a bad start there for Pedro Magalhães. He's fallen back to 5th place. Edgar Cruz had a very good start. He's up into the top 10. Very nice. All right. Leito Gomez Martinez in 4th place. He is trailing De Palma and Zatoni. He is the rear gunner of this Argentinian hit squad up at the front of the pack.
So just to note, the formation lap did count towards the total lap count that was not.
So we only 8 laps. Interesting. Very little time to make your moves here. This is, of course, a very short race. We'll find out what happens here. Could lead to some aggressive driving with how little time these drivers are actually going to have to make things happen. In the meantime, though, Juan Urena is already bolted at the front. He's 2.7 seconds ahead of Zatoni. So a great opening lap. One for the record books here for Juan Urena. I don't even think Stop Build pulls out this much on lap 1.
Well, I mean, I'm a little confused, and Leandro Carroll is also a little confused in chat as to, like, when do people get to put the hammer down? Do they all get to go at the same time, or is it first across the line gets to go?
It is all at the same time. So what happens is the green flag will be waved by the steward when the lead car hits the start-finish line. At that point, everybody is a go.
So maybe he just got better reflexes than everyone else.
Could be. Well, I mean, he's pulled away also. He's just put up a really good lap. As Martinez briefly got up into third there, but has lost a spot back to Guido de Palma. A couple slowdown penalties being given out there. Vic Vega cutting the tracks.
Wow. It's like he shot a guy in the backseat of his car or something.
Leito Gomez Martinez, I think, is on 2 cut track penalties. That'll be interesting.
There was one that flashed up there earlier, and I just didn't catch it, so maybe these are just repeating.
Could be. I noticed that Vic Vega got a second one as well, so... Oh, God, somebody is across the infield.
That's slightly track limit
That
abuse.
is slightly track limit abuse, and that could be a really dangerous rejoin. I hope he didn't kill anybody.
I mean, I could stand to see some of that.
Looks like it was looks like it was Nicholas Cortez who was
safe bet.
Who was going full conquistador there for a bit.
Watch me pull up on this horse.
Watch me pull off what we call a pro conquistador move. I see South Americans to oppress.
I heard y'all got some of that gold.
Sergei Yakimchuk is up into 5th place. It looks like Magalesh has fallen all the way back to 7th, so a terrible opening lap for him. And hopefully Pedro can strike back with the fury of a guarded Magalesh.
I'm not too sure why, but the director keeps going back to Lato, Gomez Martinez.
The spice must flow.
Well, he is quite close with Yakimchuk. Actually, that is one of the smallest gaps in the field, so that could just be it. Or it could be using some kind of pace-related
It feels like
metric.
Yakimchuk should be on camera. On 321,
he's right
I
there.
see it.
He's
I
right
see
there.
it.
We can see.
Let's go to Mick Combs.
Okay. In the mid-pack, we grab with Brad McComb. She's one of the Castrol cars for Tugas Racing International, or Tugas, or could just be Tugas. And Serge Hendricks looks like he might be losing his top 10 position to Mr. McCombs. McCombs going around the outside. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, Hendricks gets the inside line and will, for now, hold on to 10th place. Although the inside line now goes to McCombs, and that is the spot there for Brad McCombs. In for a hard fight with Serge Hendricks. I've raced with him a number of times, and he is a man who gives no quarter.
We have a request in chat to show somebody named Sknikik or something. I don't know what that is or who that is.
I don't see anyone by that name.
Is that the other part of Fat Mento's name? We can't read?
Could be. As Serge Hendricks gets back into 10th place here on the oval, heading around to the bus stop chicane. Slow down penalty for Pedro Magalesh. This race is going
slow down a
forward.
guy
Like Pedro
Magalesh.
Ricardo Costa, that's a new name. I haven't seen that. He picks up a slow down penalty. We are going to assume any of these randomly flashing up multiple times are not separate penalties, but rather just the stewards reinforcing that there's a penalty in play. Because it does seem to be showing them all twice. Either that or everybody is getting a second penalty, and that would be a bit weird. Brad McCombs getting up on the inside of Serge Hendricks in the oval, and Hendricks coming back at him into turn 1. And Hendricks shutting the door. Retains 10th place. This is not helping either of these guys out, though. The top 9 are just driving away from them, the amount that they're fighting. That being said, they may not see themselves as threats to anyone higher up in the order. And you did say it was top 10 reverse, so that is pole position for race number 2. Very important spot. Jakubchuk has gotten past Leto Gomez Martinez and is up into 4th position.
Now, pole position, does that mean that they're next up to the stage? Because I've heard some guys announce that a few times.
Kind of. Means they get to start first.
Sean Zulu is pretty sure that Homie is asking for Scott Nick to be on camera. I don't know if we can get away with that due to the sheer size of Scott's big dick. Nick.
The large Richard Energy.
Indeed. I don't know. YouTube will probably kick us off for showing big dick Scott Nick.
Sergei Jakubchuk up in 4th place. He had a bit of a rough start, but he's actually made some good progress since then. He is the top non-Argentinian in the field with the all-Argentinian podium of Juan Urena, Zatoni, and De Palma.
Look at the guy at the BMWs all the way in the back. What a jerk. Should have brought a Porsche.
George Julian Gonzalez Pela on the tail of Pedro Magalhães. Slow down penalty for Ricardo Costa. He's had a couple of those. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd. The NVIDIA car. I like that car.
Not too bad.
NVIDIA is a brand that definitely lends itself to some good liveries, and also
start calling this guy Pedro the penalty box.
Pedro Magalhães a little bit.
Who do you think you are, Tiger Williams?
Very wide. Looks like he hung on. No, he lost it. He lost the spot to Gonzalez Pela, who is the top. I don't know what community that is because he's listed just as privateer.
Maybe played too much World Tanks.
Maybe. Background there, Edgar Cruz and Scott Nick having a little tussle. There is Jakubchuk up in 4th place. He is losing ground. So I don't really know if there's a podium charge in him over these next 4 laps, but we'll see. Magalhães. I would say Magalhães has been one of the more disappointing drivers, though, down in 7th place, unfortunately.
Why? What with all the penalties? Mr. Pedro, 5 minutes, Magalhães.
I mean, the penalties are definitely part of it. I mean, at the same time, with all those penalties, he's still in 7th place. So, I mean, undeniable speed. Fastest lap is only a 1:51, though, which seems very unimpressive. Vic Vega. Slow down penalty. Vic Vega.
Another one. And Luciano and Ricardo Costa.
And Ricardo Costa.
My goodness.
Gonna have to ask Mr. Vic Vega to slow down and stop shooting Marvin in the face.
Correct.
Actually, I'm quoting the wrong movie, aren't I? Because wasn't Vic Vega the Reservoir Dogs character? It was Vincent Vega?
Okay, yeah. They're Vic Vega and Vincent Vega. I think Vincent is from...
I do believe Vincent Vega is John Travolta and Vic Vega is Michael Madsen.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think we screwed that all up.
I do believe that's the case.
Torture you. That's good.
I mean, torture you instead of shooting Marvin in the face. I mean, either these are bad.
That's true.
Simeon Naku's come through the grid nice. He's up to 13th place. I think he started outside the top 20, so he's having a good run. Vic Vega is having a pretty good run despite all the penalties. A bit of a bad day at the office for Luciano Achaza. Pedro Magalhães on the tail of Gonzalez Pela still.
So, as requested, we're going to go to Scott. He's not too far behind these guys.
Okay.
The large Richard Energy permeates your screen.
About a second behind Edgar Cruz, who is in a very lovely livery up there in the black and blue and white car.
Pepsi Max.
Team Pepsi Max. Until we learn otherwise.
Yeah, I'm pretty... It looks... And from the angle, from that angle behind right there, it looks like some form of Pepsi product to me.
Simeon Naku getting a slow down penalty. Oh, a little bit of damage on the front of Ledo Gomez Martinez.
Matthias Gonzalez also penalized
Very
for
dangerous.
being a big jerk. Simeon Naku, you.
Well, no,
you
I think that's
reprehensible.
the same one we already called him out for.
Reprehensible, sir. You have brought shame onto ESR.
So we are on to the bumper, the damaged bumper of Gomez Martinez. I'm not sure if this camera is actually still there, judging by the car, to be honest. We are on there as he pressures Yakubchuk for fourth place. So despite the damage, he's still running quite strong. Brad McCombs gets a slowdown penalty for the track limit abuse. A lot of track limit abuse going on here. And Justin XX in a battle with Gonzalez, I think. Or is that Ricardo? It's Ricardo Costa? Okay. And then behind them is Luciano Ichazo. We're on to 2 laps to go here, and I must say Martinez also appears to have some damage to his rear end. I'm surprised that car is driving as well as it is. Could also be a case of maybe a oh no!
Uh-oh.
Yakubchuk spins it. Didn't see contact there, but there might have been.
Yeah, we had we had a side angle on that, so depth perception being what it is.
There is Yakubchuk rejoining in 9th place with a track
and a penalty. Hell yeah, get him.
Luciano Ichazo's car looking a little banged up. That would explain possibly why he's back in 18th place. Fairly clean race altogether, though, from what we've seen. Simeon Naku up to 12th place, working on getting past Cortez. Is Nicholas Cortez? Was it Nicholas Cortez?
It is actually Julio Cortez.
Yeah, it's definitely not Julio.
It is Nicholas. I'm messing with you.
It's like it's either Nicholas or Nelson. Oh, spins out.
Penalty. Give him
And
penalty.
whoa, one of the Tugas cars. I think that's Yakubchuk, was way off the track there. In 10th place. Interesting. So Yakubchuk has suddenly found himself on pole for race 2 if he can hang on to that 10th place, but it looks like that car is driving him and not the other way around right now. Go Simeon!
I appreciate the amount of Duke Leto we have on our screen at times.
I apologize. I must abandon my objectivity for a moment here as Simeon Naku is looking for that pole position. Simeon, of course, a longtime member of the 3D Speed Grid. And also, of course, the original breaker of the ESR rating system when we put him in there as a silver driver, and he proceeded to win every silver race by over a second over everybody else. And we were like, this guy is in the wrong place.
Aaron Shaw would like to know what format each race of the series is in, and I would like to tell him that it will be in NTFS.
It is, it is a short race followed by a double-length race with a top 10 reverse grid. That is the format.
But I was making a computer joke.
I know. But sure. we also have to be informative as well as
eventually.
Matthias F.
String him along a little
We're also
bit.
on the last lap of the race. I got to be informative.
We got like 93 more laps in the next race.
No, we don't. We have 18.
At least 17 more laps in the next race.
All right, Justin XX trying to get that spot away from Matthias Gonzalez. Gonzalez's car looks like it's seen better days. It's got a banged up front end. And we'll see if he can get that spot. Checkered flag is out. That might be the race for them. Well, it's definitely Argentina. Top 4 all from Argentina. Although Leto Gomez Martinez might be facing some stewarding action, though, for that contact with Yakubchuk, if there was contact. And Yakubchuk did stay in the top 10. I believe the race is over. And indeed, I think I can confirm that based on the fact that everyone is going fairly slow. This feels like a cool down lap.
I demand a heat up lap right at the end to see if the cars explode. If you explode, you lose.
I feel like that would only really work in F1 where the cars are like really explode happy.
I just want to see the pistons go flying in the air. That's all I want. Pocket, pow! Everybody in the crowd ducked.
This is only a bug for this session, but the auto director for the entire race, every time I would click on it, it'd go to the 4th position.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll
Duke
see.
Leto, see, that's the thing, is Duke Leto reached out
Oh,
with the Spice Powers.
somebody is not taking this as a cooldown lap. They're zipping past everybody. Guys, that would technically get you a penalty in real life because there could be marshals on the track and all that. I mean, it doesn't really apply to real life race or to sim racing, but still. Anyways, Joaquin Juan Urena with the fastest lap of the race by only a little bit over a tenth over Ariel Zatoni, despite the fact that he did end up 5.5 seconds up the road. Interesting. ESR doing solid, though. All right, we have warm-up number 2 here. So this will be the time anyone watching is going to take a little break, take a little pee, get a little beverage for yourself, and get ready for race number 2.
I was kind of hoping my shipment would have arrived by now.
I can see that.
But then I might be distracted for the rest of the race.
You'll be fondling your firearms?
Shut up! Don't tell people! They're, well, I mean, one of them's definitely not mine. I only possess 2/5 of it because the other couple $100 hasn't arrived yet, but that's because I haven't seen my friend. And the other one, I'm pretty sure I'm not keeping because we have some new licensees here in Canada that will probably desire it, and I will definitely be either selling the one I already own on or selling the one that I'm getting on, one depending on which one I like better.
Well, today's Facebook meme of the day: why don't the poor people just invest their money? Okay. Wait, stop that.
No, not like that.
Although the Facebook picture of the day is our mutual friend Benjamin Smith putting up Ultimate Battleground 6 presents MMA Super Bowl, the Alabaster Dynamite versus victim number 5. Benji is, of course, Alabaster Dynamite.
Excellent. Well done, Benjamin. Yeah, thanks, Ayrton. Appreciate it. At least you know whose house not to come break into, I guess.
That's true. Well, I mean, we already posted a picture of us with guns at your place. So, I mean, I think we already had that covered.
Not only do I have guns, but I've got one the knife goes on top of. And I kind of bought the gun to buy the knife. I'm not going to lie about that.
All right, so your random tidbit of knowledge today, which is not racing related, is Christopher Lee corrected Peter Jackson on set of The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
During a scene in which somebody was being stabbed, and Christopher Lee said, that is not what someone who's getting stabbed actually sounds like. And the comment here, one of my friends has added, when this man says he knows what a stabbing victim actually sounds like, you just don't question it.
You do not. Buy Doge, sell high. Pro tip from Ayrton.
Indeed.
Oh, your boy Martin's giving away all my trade secrets of how to not be an absolute retard and still own firearms. Responsibility is key. You signed up for this.
JCV 10-1 is apparently Josiah Jerome.
What happened to Fluffy Jerome?
Looks like we've lost Roman Barthez. The server apparently kicked him out. I think Fluffy Jerome was his Twitch name. This is his YouTube name.
Oh, right.
Although why they are different is slightly questionable.
Well, I mean, Josiah's kind of questionable.
I mean,
he keeps claiming to be, from all these different nations, and
Josiah Jerome, the man of 100 flags. International man of sim racing.
Mr. Tropical himself, Josiah Jerome. Oh, he's got 2 YouTube accounts. One of them he subscribes to nothing but J-pop or K-pop, and then there's this one.
I mean, I can't judge. I do have 2 different YouTube accounts. Although one is subscribed to absolutely nothing.
You've got 9 different YouTube accounts.
I have only 3.
Every time you start a new video game playthrough, you start a new account.
That's not remotely true. All my video game playthroughs are on the same account. I have a gaming account, and then I have the MMA account. And the wrestling account. That's it.
And?
That's literally it.
I don't believe you, but go on.
Why would I lie about this? I feel like 3 accounts is already too many. I might as well go for more. Sorry, we're talking completely over the warm-up here, but there's not really a lot to talk about with what's going on in the warm-up. So
we talk about practice.
There's that. We ain't even talking about practice. It's warm-up.
Talk about practice.
This is them getting out of their jumpsuits and getting ready for the car. All right, greatest.
Everybody out here in chat land, make sure to give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and subscribe, or I will find you, and I will give you a wet willy.
You're gonna go Amos style on Alex Kamal there with the wet willy.
Correct. To quote Amos, I'm free right now.
Do you even know what the line that gets that causes him to say that is?
I'm pretty sure I've seen the clip. I just don't remember. And if you spoil it for me right now, I will poke you right in the eye.
No. That was. I'm just wondering. I'm not going to spoil that one because we're not there into the series yet. I already spoiled one thing for you, so yeah.
You're already posting memes from stuff we haven't even got to yet.
I only posted the one.
Yeah. There's the guy in the BMW. They're giving him the pity lap. He can't even keep up with the Porsches.
This is the problem with the reverse grid. The pace car to make its way through the grid.
Excuse me, pardon me. Penalty for music track limits. Fat Mento, lucky number 21.
All right. Francisco Rodriguez Vaquero leads us away. I also wonder. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, did that maybe mess up the reverse grid? But it did not. The reverse grid appears to be correct. That is good. Someone is saying that I suck.
Wow, that's harsh.
Very rude.
I mean, probably inaccurate, but I mean harsh.
Harsh and not fair.
Well, I don't know. You know, there's probably something you're not great at, right?
Well, yeah, there are many things I'm not great at.
But you have to be more specific. What we're really looking for here to drive engagement is to be specific as to what Mike sucks at. And we can try and prove or disprove that.
I feel like SD70M 2-man is probably Matt Higgs, and he's claiming that it's from Richard Higgs. And I disagree. Richard Higgs is a nice guy, and he would have a great deal more specificity to that. So I think this is Matt.
Can perform pace laps.
Yeah, you can do the warm-up lap of a race without hitting a Bentley.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, Bentley is the size of Oklahoma.
I mean, admittedly, if you're going to hit a car, it might as well be the Bentley. It is the biggest target. Scott Nick starting from P4, that could be interesting. Or actually, it's going to be P3 because the pace car has to be subtracted from that.
The director is stuck on P4, so.
I mean, it's the warm-up lap, so we don't really care at the moment.
Also, that was good.
Also, we have a producer. We don't need the auto director. Edgar Cruz up there in the mix as well. Couple of Castro cars up front there in McCombs and Yakimchuk. We'll see if they work together for the Tugas honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, your leader of the race, Francisco Rodriguez Vaquero.
Whoa! Hang on here. Conspiracy theory. The guy driving the pace car is teammates with the 2 guys on the front row. What is this? What is this corruption?
Well played. I applaud that. Ericsson has confirmed
I
that is
appreciate
Matt Higgs, and that he is probably going to get deported.
I mean, if I have anything to say about it, Matt Higgs will get deported. He's a disgrace to Canada.
Oh, I thought he was American.
He's Canadian.
Oh. Ugh.
Actually lives not too far from me.
Oh.
Which is why I find it vaguely amusing that he's by far the most abusive to me in like chat, because it's like I've proven I will go to British Columbia to meet people. I mean, I don't know people in the same province as me should be really all that eager to get on my bad side.
Well, short people being what they are.
Especially when I've given his dad an open invite. Like, I mean, if you ever need me to teach the young one a lesson, I mean, just let me know.
Oh, Matt says we're not drunk enough. I mean, that's accurate, but it's only 6:30 for me, so, I mean, I got the rest of the evening, dude.
Hey, I'm semi-professional. I'm staying semi-sober for this.
Should we have commentary drinking rules?
We should, probably.
I mean, we've got watching drinking rules, but commentary ones specifically.
I mean, admittedly, I obey the watching drinking rules when we do commentary, so...
Oh, hey, there you go. Shot per lap.
So when I make you drink, I am also drinking.
Fair enough. Matt wants shot per lap, and that's kid stuff. Grow up. It's double shot per half.
All right,
lap.
hang on. We're going to the start line here. Sergey Yakubchuk, and we are green. Yakubchuk leads us to the line, followed by McComb and Scott Nick. Scott Nick got his braking a bit wrong there, and Edgar Cruz might have a shot around the outside, and that's a bold move. He's going to have the inside line into this little section here, though, and then into the horseshoe, and he's got it. Third place for Edgar Cruz, and he might go to second, or he completely overcooked it, and is in the wall.
A little bit. Penalty, track limit abuse.
I mean, I think the penalty was the fact that he ran into a wall, but okay.
I think you should get the penalty anyway.
Yeah.
Matt, the deal is a double shot per half lap. Finish your drink for everybody who spins out. A drink for every penalty. Double flashes on there don't count.
Oh, geez. I mean, we might die in the 3D speed commentary with these rules because there's going to be a lot of spinning out. It's in the wet. As Pedro, you know what? Pedro Magalhaes started very close to the front. We know he's got pace, so he's up to second place there, getting past McCombs. He's the danger man right now, I think. We'll see if he can make up ground on Yakubchuk, although Yakubchuk is also very quick and kind of out of position, so this could be interesting.
Is he a man in the zone of danger?
Maybe. Brad McCombs looking down the inside of Magalhaes. Oh, God, contact in the background. One of the NVIDIA cars, and I think that might be Scott Nick who got into the back of him. It is Scott Nick. Scott Nick and George Gonzalez Pila getting into it, and they are going to fall pretty much to the back. Looks like we've already lost 2 cars. Pardon me, one of those is the pace car. We lost Nicholas Cortez from the race. Oh, God! Cortez was stopped on the track!
That's pretty accurate. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Lord, the children. Oh, Lord. Think of the children.
Oh, Lord, think of the physics. Oh, no. I'm not sure who the 2 cars that killed him were, but they might be dropping backwards as well.
Oh, no. He wasn't on the track. I think it was a lag thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Looked pretty on the track to me, but oh my goodness. Yeah, get him.
I mean, Javier Perez Torres' hyperspace trip. Eat your heart out.
Break into electric. Change my brake pads.
Nicholas Electric Boogaloo Cortez as somebody goes off the track there. Trying to get around Lucia. Oh, God!
Oh, Lord. Oh,
please don't back onto the track. Oh, no. That's a super unsafe rejoin by Mateus Gonzalez. Oh, boy.
He out. Cut him. Cut that miss.
Slow down penalty for Gonzalez Pela. Man, race number 2 has got all the action I thought we'd get in race 1. And
so,
the longer race is bringing it.
Between position 4 to 15, everyone is within each other 1 second.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, it's early days yet. I think that'll spread out. Largest gap in the field is actually the gap between first and second place. Yakubchuk back to Magalhaes, which is interesting. Edgar Cruz in 10th place there. He's fallen back. He's battling with Vic Vega. Vic Vega's had a really good race, except in 9th place. I'll give a thump of the chest for the run of Vic Vega.
Victor too.
Luciano Ichazo on the tail of Justin XX. Hey, whoa, typing boy.
Mr. Open Mic with the mechanical keyboard.
Open mic.
Son of a mother duck.
Luciano Ichazo. Oh, that's an aggressive block thrown by Justin XX.
I like it.
That was dangerous. I don't know what the rules of this particular race are, but I would not be happy if Luciano's
only so many zones of danger per lap.
I mean, that was definitely one for this lap. Oh boy. That was shutting the door. Brad McCombs has slipped to third place behind Leito Gomez Martinez. So Leito's up there, Yakubchuk and Magalesh. Those are three pretty quick drivers. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold it. Juan Urena's up to fifth place. De Palma to sixth. Zatoni to eighth.
What was this about Uranus?
I'm not talking about Uranus.
Oh, why not? It's a fascinating planet.
Thought you were going to go with it's a fascinating topic.
That might be next time.
Edgar Cruz briefly got past Ariel Zatoni there, and in fact, he is ahead of him now. Zatoni is not. I don't know. I was expecting a bit more from Zatoni. He's coming back at him now, but it's a bit weird. He's not making the progress through the field that De Palma and Juan Urena are, despite having finished second in race one. He's actually made no progress. He started in ninth, and he is still in ninth. There is Fat Mento, currently being trailed by Gonzalez and behind Scott Nick. They, of course, have both had their tango. Oh, God, 3 wide. Zatoni 3 wide with Naku and with Cruz. And
Shake and bake.
It is Simeon Naku who hangs on ahead of Ariel Zatoni, and Edgar Cruz loses out to both the ESR boys, slipping back to 9th place.
Well performed, chaps. Well performed.
Forcing his way up the inside, Joaquin Juan Urena, race 1 leaders, up to 4th place, having displaced Brad McCombs.
Is your boy Cortez still whirlpooling off into the sunset? Or
I don't know. I don't know. He is shown in 22nd place, 3 laps down. Make of that what you will.
He has entered the void.
He is deep in the void.
Which now makes me want to listen to the Monster Magnet cover of the Black Sabbath song, Into the Void. It's got this really long, hey, there's a man off the track in the bricks.
Indeed, one of the Tugas cars. I think it's Brad McCombs, because he is dropping through the order. So it looks like he lost his way there. Edgar Cruz in 8th place.
The Monster Magnet cover has this really, really long intro of this weird, like, spacious drums and crazy nonsense. And homie that does vocals is just rambling and eventually starts yelling about somebody or something being pretty like a donkey. It's pretty intense.
Indeed, there is Serge Hendricks currently behind Luciano Ichazo. Ichazo's passed him this lap and is looking for more. He's going around the outside of Justin XX. And this has opened the door for Serge Hendricks. We're going 3 wide.
Here we go, boys.
3 wide down the back stretch. And it is going to be actually Serge Hendricks who comes up on top. He got XX and Ichazo. Luciano got forced up. No!
Oh!
Serge Hendricks outbrakes himself into turn 1, and maybe that is why he got the run he did.
Pushed too much. Much too much.
Indeed, he's going to lose spots to Gomez Pela, Costa, Nick. Justin XX also may have gone off because he's dropping back as well. Luciano Ichazo may just have won the greatest game of chicken by being the first one to blink, and he's got 10th place. Sometimes, kids, it's not the last one to blink that wins the game of chicken. It's the one that survives. So Edgar Cruz running behind Ariel Zatoni and Simi Naku. Vic Vega, track limit abuse penalty. That'll cost him some time. He's running a very solid 9th. I honestly can't emphasize this enough. Vic Vega doing really well here in race number 2. We pick up Matthias F. Gonzalez, who's back in 16th place and looking to move
You
up.
were saying about Vic Vega?
Well, he had already gotten that slowdown penalty when I had said that. So.
Nope. He's got 3 more by now.
I mean, maybe.
You know, it'd be awesome is if for the second race they had to jump out of their cars, run into the parking lot, and grab some of those Winnebagos and race them.
That would be interesting. I did watch a stadium truck race at Daytona once. That was very interesting. Edgar Cruz looking to hunt down. Oh, Luciano Jazzo. Track limit. On board with Ariel Zatoni, podium finisher in race 1. He's back in 7th right now, behind Simeon Naku. Not a place where he would enjoy to be. These two are actually arch nemesis within the ESR series. So that's an interesting little bubbling pool of trouble.
I think at some point they're going to have too much to drink and just forget.
Simeon gets really wide in the International Horseshoe, and Ariel Zatoni says, "Thank you very much. I'm an Argentinian. I don't belong back there."
I'd like to point out that the Argentinians in the previous race finished all up at the front and all out down at the back, with maybe 1 or 2 in the middle.
They're a little more in the mid-pack here today, but they are still doing very well. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place. And 9th. So 4 Argentinians in the top 10.
But one of them brought a BMW, and he is to be shunned.
Well, he's the pace car. Oh, somebody off there. Not sure whom. My apologies, but the community racetrack, the community car liveries does make it a little bit hard to tell who's who sometimes. Joaquin Juan working on Leto Gomez, Martinez. Are they in the same community, Martin? Do you know? And they just kind of have like 2 teammate liveries as their livery? Because that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah.
I can't tell because Juan Urena is a privateer. He's not proudly repping his community.
Each driver just put their team name underneath.
Not everybody, because the privateer means you've got it blank on your profile. And,
so yeah,
that means not everybody did it. So Juan Urena on the tail of Martinez. I'm just wondering, because I feel like those 2 cars are actually literal teammates. It's just because they're both the baby blue and white, but they are 2 different liveries. Wide run and another overtake into the International Horseshoe. Juan Urena up into 3rd place behind Magalesh and Yakubchuk.
It's pretty easy to tell the difference between the 2. I mean, one of them is sponsored by Logitech, and the other one
oh boy, this is a whole mess here.
Pack.
Scott Nick in the middle of this pack that goes up to Elias, I think. I think he's the UPS car at the front of this. Let's see, Nick is in 15th, so 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th. Oh, we're at the answer here. It is Elias. Okay, I was right. So Elias is in that mix along with Gonzalez Pela, Gonzalez, Serge Hendricks, Scott Nick is in there, as well as Cruz Caval. Quivel? I don't know how to say that name.
Well, maybe you should watch some mixed martial arts and you do learn how to say Spanish things.
To be honest, you don't learn to say a lot of Spanish things in MMA.
That's true. It's a lot of Portuguese.
More Portuguese. I mean, there are, some Spanish. There are some Spanish fighters, but there's not too many. They tend to also be American Spanish fighters. Matthias F. Gonzalez looking to get up past Elias. Elias has lost a spot to Gonzalez Pela in the NVIDIA car. So Pela is up to... Oh, boy. Track cut penalty. Ooh, I don't like that track cut penalty because that track cut penalty is what has given him this run. So, I mean, if you can get away with that, I'll take that track cut penalty all day. 3 wide might be coming here towards the start-finish line. And it is going to be... In fact, it is going to be Elias getting back up into 11th place. And then randomly slowing down. Did he get a track cut penalty? No. What is wrong with Adrian Elias here? He is dropping like a stone.
He served that penalty, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't see a penalty pop up, but it is possible. Looks like he's running okay now.
3 of his pistons just shot right through his trunk.
Well, I was going to suggest if there was a problem, maybe he missed a gear shift. I know these cars have a possibility to double shift a little bit, and maybe that's what happened there, and that just killed his momentum on the straightaway. So pick up Pedro Magalhães, who's up in second place there. He's closing in on Jakubczuk, so he feels the pressure coming from behind him. Juan Urena has come through to third place. We know that Juan Urena is dangerous. We know Guido de Palma is very dangerous. He's in fifth place there. Simeon Naku having an excellent race here. He's in sixth, ahead of Zatoni once again. Luciano Wachazo up into the top 10. Cruz and Vegas still holding on to top 10 spots. Scott Nix up to 13th place. He's on a little bit of a charge. Looks like we might have lost Ricardo Costa, as well as possibly Serge Hendricks and Brad McComb. Indeed, it looks like Hendricks is out, Costa is out, and McComb is out. That hurts. 17 remaining. Pedro Magalhães took 3/10 out of Jakubczuk that lap. He is all over the back of the race leader. And Juan Urena is the danger man further behind them, about 3 seconds back. Although still battling with Duke Lato. Gomez Martinez.
See.
All right. Let's see where Pedro thinks he might have a shot at taking the race lead here against Sergei Jakubczuk. The infield section is not ideal for overtaking, but you can take advantage of mistakes. There's just not necessarily a lot of multi-lanes, whereas if you can get a good run off of this corner here into the oval section, you're going to have a great chance if you can just get a little bit more momentum. And he's also got the draft from the car ahead of him. Let's see what he can do. Pedro Magalhães on the run to the bus stop. Can he set up for a move there? That's probably his best bet, is that bus stop there. If he can get in there, he has got a good run here. He is being forced down to the inside, though. That's not going to be ideal, so good defense from Jakubczuk. And indeed, he is going to hold it. Oh, no!
I think
Jakubczuk is definitely going to get I would think, a cut penalty there, unless he slows way down. He may have slowed down enough to avoid the cut penalty, but that is the race lead to Magalhães.
I'll take it.
Somebody got a track limits penalty.
Take the win, baby. Take the
well,
win.
if you slow down enough while you're cutting the track, you can avoid the slow down penalty, because the penalty for cutting the track is slowing down. So if you kind of preemptively do it, you can avoid it. Ariel Zatoni back there picking up a cut track penalty, though. We just saw that flash up on our screens. And it is now Magalhães from Jakubczuk, Juan Urena, Gomez Martinez, De Palma, Naku, Zatoni, Ichazo. Up into the top 10 is Gonzalez Pela, as well as Mateus Gonzalez. Falling way back is Edgar Cruz. He must have gone off. He's down to 17th place. And last, Vic Vega down to 13th. Looks like Edgar Cruz is out of the race, and we are down to just 16 cars. Nice little pack here with Scott Nick in the mix with that is Gonzalez Pela at the front of the pack, and then Mateus Gonzalez in the middle. Scott Nick. Somebody went way off in the background there. It'll be Adrian Elias, the UPS car, exploring some options. And into the pits comes Guillermo Cruz Quival. I don't believe that this is a pit stop race, so he must have some... I'm not seeing any damage on the car. But it could be maybe a drive-through that we weren't apprised of, or maybe a fuel miscalculation on his part. I don't know. It's Gonzalez Pela that has the only NVIDIA livery, so, go you. Look back from Jorge Julian Gonzalez Pela.
I would like to state for the record that Aaron Shaw in chat is all in on Scott Nick for reasons no one's really sure about. I mean,
he might know Scott Nick in real life. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, if he knew Scott Nick, why would he be cheering for Scott Nick? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, Scott Nick got up into Pela there a little bit. We avoided
Get 'em.
disaster with the 3 wide. It is going to be Mateus Gonzalez who comes out in front, though. And in second, and now in, second place in this group, but now third, Scott Nick losing out actually on a good run around the outside by Gonzalez Pela. So that is ninth place for Mateus Gonzalez, and then 10th place for George Gonzalez Pela, and then Scott Nick. I feel like everyone with the name Julian, I have like an immediate negative reaction to, just because the only Julian I know in real life is a complete douchebag.
And also that guy from that MMA thing.
Are you talking about Julian Marquez?
No. One from the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, Julian Lane. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Julian Lane is a special lad. Let me bang, bro. Let me bang. Is he the worst contestant in Ultimate Fighter history, do you think?
What about Bowman?
Bowman's a nice guy, though. Like, he's just...
Oh, you're not talking about, like, just sheer talent level?
Yeah, no, I'm talking like, just complete douchebag on the Ultimate Fighter. Like,
I mean, there's Judy Allen Browning.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably is Judy Allen Browning. Who is on the run from the law again, I do believe.
Shocker. And then there's Tony Ferguson, noted massive douchebag.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Tony Ferguson's a douchebag, but he wasn't nearly as out of control as Julian Lane was.
That's true.
Like, up until the "Where's Your Son" at bit, he kind of really actually really was pretty invisible in that season of the fighter, which is weird because he won it. He was like, so in Survivor, there's something they call the purple edit, where someone has a deep run into the game and just isn't ever seen. Tony Ferguson was the purple fighter on the Ultimate Fighter, for sure. Scott Nick around the outside of Julian Gonzalez Pela. I might just call him Pela for, like, simplicity's sake. Whoa! Martin, super choppy. Scott
I thought he had that fiber internet.
It's overtaken on the inside there by Pela, so Nick versus Pela. This is really playing into the hands of Mateus Gonzalez up there in ninth place. He's just getting to drive away from these two.
We just call him JJGP.
JJGP? That works. That works.
JJGP!
I'm down with that. Oh, the more recent, there's a recent episode of Gridiron Heights where they try to form a super team, Ocean's 11 style, sort of.
Nice.
And one of the members of the team is JJ Watt, and it's like, we're the Delaware Clams. We're going to go win the NFC East because the NFC East is terrible this year. And he's talking to the media, and he's like, my name is BB Volt. I hate children and charities. Oh, God, I'm lying, and it feels good. This is me now.
And what is your reaction to the Houston quarterback wanting the hell out of Houston? I don't blame him.
I'd want out of Houston as well. You have a vaguely racist owner, and he's a black guy, so... You know,
very nice.
That.
Also, apparently all the decisions are being made by a priest?
Yeah.
That's...
the McNair family that owns the Houston Texans are... every negative stereotype of the Republican Party that you can think of, basically. So,
fair enough.
I would want out too.
Did somebody tell the priest they can only draft so young? Like, there's no reason to hang out there anymore, guy.
They can only you have to be at least 20 to get drafted in the NFL here.
Yeah. Too old.
Well, they also had, of course, Bill O'Brien as general manager and head coach with no resume that indicate that he could have done that. To the point where in Gridiron Heights, there's an episode, the quarterback or the MVP race, which has Watson as one of the candidates. And it's like, it's basically a Mario Kart race that they're doing. And it's like, they've got the purple shell and the Russell Wilson's got the crowd noise that Seattle's famous for. And it's like, Deshaun Watson has Bullet Bill O'Brien. It's like, who needs a front office? It literally throws him back into last place. And he's like, to be honest, I feel like you've actually made this more difficult. As I'm telling you this, Joaquin Juan Urena took second place from Yakimchuk. I feel kind of bad now, actually. We ignored that good battle for second place. We'll see if Jakubchuk can take it back here. And if I'm mispronouncing any names, please let us know, because there will be more races in the series. And, oh, somebody in the pit lane.
Life in the pit lane.
Oh, spinning out. There goes Juan Urena. And he's going to rejoin in 5th place. One of the blue and black cars is in the pit lane. I'm looking to see if anyone's dropping.
Hendricks.
Oh, I think it's Guillermo Cruz Quival, who was in the pits earlier. He apparently was in there again.
Yeah.
He's having a rough day, apparently. Still out there running, though. I respect the guy who's down a lap to everybody, but is determined to finish the race. I enjoy that stick-to-itiveness.
Oh, Scott Nick got a penalty because he
Indeed.
is a horrible, reprehensible.
I was gonna say he's got a run on JJGP there, and apparently it's because he just cut the track.
That makes sense. Just hope the stewards aren't watching. That's all you need to do.
So Duke Lato's up onto the podium now.
Ha-cha-cha.
But he does have Guido De Palma for company. Scott Nick up into the top 10. Mateus Gonzalez is falling back. Not sure what happened to him. Oh, he's back up there now. Maybe a lag moment. I don't know. Because the gap randomly fluctuated there, so I think maybe Gonzalez got hit with some lag. So Lato, I think that actually is probably Lito Gonzalez or Gomez Martinez. And Guido De Palma looking to get up onto the podium for the second race in a row. Don't know if he's got a run here. We've seen some very good runs off the high side into turn 1, though, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it this time. A little bit of damage showing on De Palma on the front end as well. And a track limit abuse penalty for Guido De Palma, so that might end this fight for the time being. We'll see if it picks up later. Battle in the ESR camp between Simeon Naku and Ariel Zatoni over 6th place.
It's okay. He's got 30 more laps. Oh, no, I read that wrong.
Oh. Simeon backing up Ariel into the international horseshoe there. Problems.
Aaron and I have asked people frequently if they just push the gas pedal a little harder, wouldn't it work better for them? But no one answers. No one answers.
Nah, well, the answer is no. In general. It's only so far the gas pedal goes, Byron.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that. Watching people drive, I really don't think that's actually true. I think somebody got like the sawzall out, and they got a little panel in the floor, and they can actually push the gas pedal a little further down.
Are you going with the Family Guy Scotty idea here?
I don't know what that means. So maybe.
Captain, I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. We need more, Scotty. Captain, this is embarrassing. The lever is actually only about halfway down. I can actually give you 100% more.
Dope.
Captain, this is Scotty again in engineering here. This is really embarrassing. There's actually a second lever here. I literally can give you 300% more, and it's been like that all these years. Simeon Naku side by side with Ariel Zatoni there. A little bit nervous having two ESR cars this close together. Ooh, boy. I spoke at McGregor's funeral. I was saying to his widow, I was giving it all she's got, and I was lying. I've been lying all these years. It's okay, Scotty. It's really not. Ariel Zatoni on the tail of Simeon Naku. Unable to find a way through, despite the pace differential that they had in qualifying and in race 1. Simeon's brought it here in race 2. I mean, he had a really good race 1. I don't want to suggest that Simeon did not have a good race 1. He came through the grid very nicely and took a very good result, but just felt like Zatoni's at the top end of the field here, and Simeon is not. And eventually that dam does break, and that is 6th place for Ariel Zatoni. Next up on his list, 4.5 seconds up the road with 2 laps to go, is Joaquin Juan Urena, who we pick up here battling with Guido De Palma. De Palma's lost the back end to Gomez Martinez, so Duke Lato looks like he's got himself a podium, and Jakubchuk's fallen way off of Magalesh in the last couple of laps. That's up to almost a 5-second gap.
That is now a 5-second gap.
And it is.
I don't know if Roman in chat is talking shit about your camera work, Martin, or saying really nice things. I don't speak that much Spanish. So it's one or the other. It's really good or really bad.
Wasn't Roman? Oh no, Roman was from Argentina. I was going to say, didn't he have a French flag? No, he had an Argentine flag. So you're probably right on the Spanish.
Luciano, you track abusing son of a bitch.
On the rear bumper of Guido de Palma, looking back at Juan Urena. Both their cars a little bit beaten up. And into turn one, it is still Guido de Palma who hangs. Oh, no. Oh, nice save.
But is it nice
Beautiful
enough?
save. In the meantime, up ahead of them, Duke Leto is on the attack against Yakubchuk. Yakubchuk doesn't seem to have any pace right now. I wonder if he's asked too much of his tires. If he is Martin Edmonds the tires and is losing second place.
Hey,
I mean, at least I'm being complimentary. I'm suggesting that you're in second place before you murder your tires. It implies that at least in the process of murdering your tires, you are fast.
Roman just being very complimentary. Thank you, Roman.
Martinez getting repassed by Yakubchuk. So Yakubchuk not done yet. This is all working to the advantage, of course. Pedro Magalhães, of course, having second and third fight like this, and he's now up almost over 5.5 seconds on the battle for second place.
I think Pedro might win.
I feel like it's a good chance, but we'll see. Justin XX has made up a spot. GP is falling back. He's lost out to XX and Vega. Yakubchuk looking to hang on. Oh boy! Yakubchuk cuts it. Cuts it again.
All kinds
of track abuse at the bus stop.
All right, Mike, you got to answer me this one question.
Okay.
Which team is mintier and fresher, the Puma or the Logitech?
Gonna go with the Logitech.
That seems fair.
Guido de Palma with a track limit abuse penalty as we hit the finish line. Pedro Magalhães is your winner from Yakubchuk and Gomez Martinez. I'm a little disappointed in Yakubchuk, though, to be honest. That was some hefty track limit abuse there on the last lap to keep second place.
Well, I mean, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I mean, you could definitely look at it that way. You got a point. Simeon Naku in seventh place there. Juan Urena, fifth. Zatoni, Naku. Chazo, Scott Nick coming home in ninth place. Good result for him. It looks like Adrian Elias might get himself into 10th place as a late speeding in the pit lane penalty for Guillermo Cruz Quival. I don't think that's going to affect anything because he was already in last place. Adrian Elias brings home a top 10. Good work by him. Like that UPS car.
What can Brown
do for you? It can finish in top 10.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Big wiggle there. Pioneer Energy also on that car. Justin XX bringing it home in 11th place. I don't appreciate the extra large name, but it's just me. The extra name.
Well, maybe he's just more hardcore than regular Malcolm X.
Vic Vega, and here comes Fat Mento.
Lucky 13.
Must say that the Tugas or Tugas. I don't. Could be an acronym. Could be a word. I don't know.
Tugas.
They are the team that seems to not really race under their real names. I must say, because they've got Vic Vega, Fat Mento, and Justin XX. This is like a proper wrestling stable at this point.
Correct. Maybe they're going to go full heel in the next race. Tune in next week for that.
I think everybody is done. So there, 30. Oh, late 30-second penalty coming in for Guido de Palma, which drops him to 8th place. That hurts. He got that track cut penalty at the end there, and that's going to promote Zatoni, Naku, and Ichazo, each one place. So Magalhães does take the win. Fastest lap goes to Ariel Zatoni. You know what? I'm a little surprised by that. Zatoni was behind Naku almost the entire race. A bit weird that he picked up the fastest lap there with a 47.007. And there is the rest of the field there. 14 finishers here in race number 2. We lost Pela at the end, as well as Matías Gonzalez.
would like to thank everybody for showing up and coming out. And if you're not here for the Road America race, you're not going to be here for my birthday. And then you're just going to have to live with that for the rest of your life.
Whoa, are you saying that we're doing, for your birthday, we doing Real Cheese People?
The Real Cheese People will be in the building on this day of our Lord.
The very, very American-sponsored track that has cheese and guns.
Yeah. I don't know who planned that out, but well done.
Well done.
I do enjoy watching the cars come down over that weird rise and then just like being Real Cheese People for a while.
For a while, they just become Real Cheese People. That's excellent.
Martin is saying in chat that we need more drivers, so everybody sign up, or I'll find you.
Anyways,
we have plenty of drivers. It's they wanted less driver, 6 per team.
Well, why did you say in chat that we need a few more drivers?
A few more drivers on
the other team. I think he means the other teams because, I mean, there were a couple of teams that appeared to have only one car.
Fair enough.
Which is a little disappointing.
Spread the word. You will have optimal commentary on your races if you show up and race.
Indeed.
If not, shame upon your family.
Hopefully the next one's better because hopefully I won't have pulled a muscle right before the commentary.
Wow, Mike, stop talking about how much you are performing. Never mind. We're not going to talk about pulling on. Good night, everybody.
Not that muscle.
Sure. It will be every other Thursday until the end of time. Or are we taking... Oh, no, it's every other Thursday? No, every second Thursday, right?
Apparently February 11th. So there you go.
Yes.
This one will be next.
So not next Thursday, but the Thursday after. And if you don't show up for that, I will send some people to your house. They'll put chili flakes in your porridge.
You'll do it.
They'll pelt you with dry rub ribs.
I won't do that. I'm going to eat those. Screw you people. I'm not throwing those.
Well, no. Those are the really bad ribs with the pepper spray level, levels of dry rub.
Oh, my mom got me some of that. It was like habanero and mandarin orange. Bruh. I don't know what habaneros these are, but I can't put more than even a little bit into like a flour mix to do like fried chicken. Just a little bit.
I like where that's going.
You put like a teaspoon in a cup and a half of flour, and you're good.
Mm-hmm. So is it Road America that's next up there?
No, it's my birthday.
Let me have a quick look.
Next up will be Suzuka.
And
then Imola.
Okay.
And then Silverstone.
Okay.
And then Scrotum Erica.
Okay.
And then we will have Iguana Secularum.
Laguna Seca.
Then we get our feet did at the spa.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Nürburgring or something like that. Then we get to go out for Shanghai noodles. And then it's all about the mozzarella.
I mean, I feel like Shanghai is really out of place on this legendary track circuit schedule. But and then there's
racist.
There's the track we built in China so that we could have an F1 race there, sort of deal.
China. Are we still live?
We are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the after show. We'll be here all night until Martin hits a switch somewhere.
Until Martin presses the stop streaming button, we are live.
In approximately 40 seconds, I'm going to start saying really, really awful things that can get us prosecuted.
Whoa.